Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. So you know how I got into law school, right? Yes, I don't know what I was thinking. Literally, what was I thinking? Law school is tough. They say the first year is the toughest. And so for me, that means that I won't have time to read. Obviously. For me, I don't feel like I have read all the books that I wanted to read this summer. And a lot of the books are, because for me, I'm like, okay, standalones, duologies, like those are fine. Like I can find time to read those, like that's fine. But there are now, I realize, chunks of series and whole like books from authors that I have not picked up that I want to pick up so badly. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it. So you're probably like, oh my god, what the hell is she talking about? This video is going to be all the series that I want to read before law school terminates me. Like these are the series that I want to read before I literally have no time. So I made a little list on sticky notes because I'm always prepared, obviously, law school student. So here we go. Let's just get into it. So number one is all the Cassandra Clare books. Yes, I know. I don't support her in any way. I'm so upset that she's this big in the world because the characters that she writes are like guilty pleasures, except Jem. Jem is like one of the best characters ever. So I feel like people relate, or like they've come to love these characters, you know, not only like the OG Jays, Clary, Isabel, Simon. Simon's controversial a little bit. Alec, Magnus, the fact that I know this much, oh my god. But also like her new ones, Emma and Julian. People die for Emma, Julian, Kit. Like the fact that I know this and I haven't picked up any of those series except like the first 3 books with Mortal Instruments and the first book of the Infernal Devices. I'm blaming you guys, aka my book Twitter mutuals. I'm blaming you guys. Okay. Anyways, yes, I have all of Cassandra Clare's books except her short stories. Besides, I don't know if there are any more short stories, but I don't have the only more short stories that I have are the, like I said, the Ghost of the Shadow Market. That's because of Jem. So I want it like this. Oh shoot. Oh, I got a little hairy. Oh, I just took them out of hibernation. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Because I don't want to take out the Mortal Instruments. Everyone knows about the Mortal Instruments. This is book 3, I think, of the Infernal Devices, The Clockwork Princess, and this is The Dark Artifices, book 1, Lady Midnight, right? So like this, because I guess I'll read the Mortal Instruments just because I think the Mortal Instruments takes place before this, the Dark Artifices. Well, if you guys just saw an angle change, the thing about these books is that these are like literally people's guilty pleasure books. Like people hate to love them. And obviously because of the author. I kind of talked about these when because remember I said I was going to do these in my June TBR. I never got around to them. Like I said, these are books that I really, really want to read, but I just never found the time for, just because there are a lot of books. I don't even know how much there are in the Shadowhunter Chronicles. Like literally no clue. There can probably be like 20 or something. That's what I'm saying. So I wanted like just dedicate like time for these, just because I feel like these are very character-driven books, and I love character-driven books. But they're just so much, and I don't like Cassandra Clare's writing. I don't. Anyway, Cassandra Clare, that's one. Number 2, all of the Percy Jackson books except the original series, just because I've read that one many, many times. I'm aware. So remember when I said I was going to read The Blood of Olympus? I never read that. Wow, I never read that. So I feel like I need to read all that series again, just because I kind of forgot. And I've heard the only bad one is Blood of Olympus, so I don't mind reading the other one, just because that means I get to see more Leo and Percy and Annabeth, obviously, but more Leo. I want to read those. I also want to read the Trials of Apollo books and the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard books. Again, books that I had told you guys I was going to read, but I never read. And all of these books are found, I've talked about them in my, did I? No, I did. I did. In my I try to read 31 books in 2 weeks. Yeah, right. Who the hell did I think I was? I want to read these. Hopefully I can do them. But like I'm saying, right before October, like right before like my little deadline, it's still going to be a lot. Like I'm still going to have a lot of readings, but I'm not going to be like drowning where like I need assistance to just get out of bed. Like that? No, not yet. Will come soon, but not yet. So that's what I'm saying. So, and especially like these, I can get these done in a day, like for sure. The Cassandra Clare ones might be a little more difficult just because sometimes her books drag on. Oh my god, I feel like I'm just dragging her. Oh no, I thought we were gonna start dragging. The Illuminae Files by Annie Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I want to read these so badly just because one, everyone loves them. Everyone who starts them loves them. And two, I have all 3 books. And 3, I think they're just going to be easy reads just because remember I keep explaining to you guys how they're like told in this like different kind of way of storytelling. So we have files, we have messages, we have interviews, we have sometimes I think we saw a poster. Just it's a very easy way to read, and I know people say it's like once you pick it up you don't want to stop. So I was going to read these with the audiobooks just because everyone says it has a full cast, like Daisy Jones and the Six, which I highly recommend. Daisy Jones and the Six audiobook, so good. I just couldn't get into them, and I think that's a big problem just because like I said, I don't like audiobooks. The fact that I listened to Daisy Jones and the Six, that says something, which I, like, again, think you should pick up. So I tried, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. For me, I'll just read them. Because when I was reading them by itself, I could get into them because people were like, oh, maybe you can't get into them just because they're interviews. Like, maybe you need to listen to the people. Maybe you need to actually, like, hear it out loud. Like, not just, you know, read it on the paper. But for me, it worked. So, yeah. I already explained all these. That's the thing. I don't know if I should re-explain them. This is basically a fantasy. From what I can tell, these 2 characters, boy, girl, the girl broke up with the guy the day of this kind of invasion on their home planet, and they have to run away, and they stow away on this cargo ship, and they find out that this cargo ship is not what it seems. Magnus Chase, it's the Norse gods. So it's basically Percy Jackson, but with Norse mythology. The Apollo one is the one where Apollo gets cast down to Earth, and he has to prove himself that he can still be a god or something like that. And then obviously Cassandra Clare, no, look them up. All you need to know is that they're all the same family. All the same family are there. Literally, it's a mess. Okay, now for the fun parts. Okay, first let's start off nice. So first let's talk about Throne of Glass. Let's start off nice. Okay, I'm literally just picking out whichever books from the series that I see. This one is book Air of Fire. Heck if I know. I don't know what book, maybe book 3. Okay. Sarah J. Maas. I have a very complicated friendship with Sarah J. Maas. I like Throne of Glass. I read it. I liked it. I found it enjoyable, easy read. I liked the characters. I was intrigued. I was like, yes. So that's why I really want to pick this up. I know there's like 8 books to it. I have almost all the books, and I have hardcover and paperback, which kind of makes me mad, but whatever. I like Throne of Glass. So basically we follow this assassin called Selena, and she is, I forgot what is the world name? I don't know what the world's name is. Ardalan's. She's Ardalan's best assassin, and she has been captured, and the prince comes with this offer that if she is to be his like contestant in this assassin game that his father, the king, is holding, and wins, which means that she will become Ardalan's assassin, the king's assassin, she will be free in like 5 years of her punishment. Like after, she will only have to serve like 5 years under the king, and then she can leave. So basically, and then being Ardalan's assassin, the king's assassin, means that you're basically his blade. Wherever he sends you to kill people, you have to go. So it picks up with that. So she's training. We see her strengthen her friendships, her bonds with people in the castle. So I liked it. Like I said, it intrigued me. The whole like assassin, like this girl being like the great assassin. Obviously no one can come close to being Duarte. Let's just get that straight. But I mean, cool. We have a strong female, right? Female protagonist, not antagonist. But I spoiled myself already about this a lot. Just because I wanted to see who she ended up with, obviously, because I thought there was only going to be 2 guys. And then she ends up with this random guy. And I was like, wait a minute. It's kind of spoiler. Whatever. Throne of Glass. I really want to read this. Okay, so when I read Throne of Glass, I was like, wow, I actually like Sarah J. Maas's writing. Wait a minute. Let me pick up ACOTAR. And here's where the dragging starts. Oh, I have to move out the snow again. Okay, this one is A Court of Mist and Fury. I think it's book 2. This is one that I didn't DNF, but I will hopefully get back to it. Okay, I read the first book. And I was like, you know what? This is good. This is good. I've never read a fairy book like this before. I'm intrigued. Okay, let's see where this goes, right? And then I put it down. And I think that was my first mistake, because I feel like if I had read it all the way through, maybe my opinions would be different. But that was my first mistake. My second mistake was a very, very, very blessing in disguise, was picking up through The Folk of the Air right after. And here's the thing. I wouldn't make comparisons if other people didn't make comparisons. If other people didn't say that ACOTAR was better than Folk of the Air, if, I'm so sorry, Jude Duarte, forgive me for saying this, that Farah is better than Jude. I can't even say it. Or that Rhysand and Farah are better than Jude Cardon. I wouldn't have made comparisons, and I wouldn't have gotten this defensive if I didn't see people on Twitter saying this. So obviously I got defensive because they're my holy grail shelf. And so here's the thing though. After I read that, I was like, oh my God, I hate people, whatever. But when you've been on Twitter since you were like 12, which I have, you know that people come with their wrong opinions. You just know. So I was like, I'm not going to let that kind of dampen my reading mood slash, like, you know, I'm not going to let it dampen my reading when I try ACOTAR again. And I didn't, because when I read the first one, I did not give it a 5-star anymore, because the first time I think I gave it like 4 or 5 stars. I think I put it down to like a 3-star, just because I still liked it. Like, I still enjoyed it. It was good. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the plot. I feel like she set it up perfectly so there can be multiple plots. I liked the plot twists at the end. I liked it. I liked the romances, you know, the romance that she gave us in the first one. I liked it. And I was like, okay, not 4 or 5 stars, because at that point I had read more books, but obviously not The Folk of the Air, but I read other books. So I was like, okay, I know now what a 5-star book is and a 4-star book, and this is more of a 3-star book. So I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I'll still buy it. And I did. I bought the rest of the books. I was like, I'll still give it a chance. And then I read this book, or I tried to read this book. I went halfway. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not in my opinion. And I hate that she markets this, the first couple of books. I think her other new books in this series are going to be marketed as like more new adult. I hate that she marketed these books as young adult, because they're not young adult. Not just for the fact like the plot wise, but also she has like explicit scenes. Young adult, sadly, means young adult, and it encompasses so many age, like this, the age range is so vast in young adult, because when I go to, like, for example, when I go to Target, right, and I look at the young adult section, there can be like a Sarah J Maas book there, but right next to it can be like a Harry Potter book or a Percy Jackson book. I read Percy Jackson when I was in 6th grade. Imagine me turning, and I read Twilight when I was in 5th grade, so I was already obsessed with magical creatures. If I had seen that there was a fairy book, because I didn't read fairy books, if I had seen that there was a fairy book and it was like really pretty, because the covers are pretty, I would have scooped it up. And yes, I know Twilight has that explicit scene in Breaking Dawn, yes, but I'm just saying, some people never read, and some people didn't read that. Some people, you know that. There are times where people on Twitter have said that their parents cut out that scene in Breaking Dawn, or they just skipped past it. I'm saying, like, so there are people who just weren't exposed to that. So imagine turning and be like, wow, let me read this. And then be like, oh my God, wait a minute. Rhysand did what with his what? And y'all know what I'm referencing to. Mountain shaking? Yeah, I think it was this one. But that's what I'm saying. There you go. That's my next point. I want to read these now. So you're like, oh my God, why would you read these? Why would you suffer through it? Just let it go. That's the thing though. This is me. Maybe this is the lawyer in me. Maybe this is the Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moon lawyer in me. I don't like to argue with people, and I don't like to hate on stuff if I haven't gotten the full picture. I feel like me personally, when I'll say I don't attack, but I literally just attacked Farah and Rhysand like 2 days ago on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I feel like I need to read these books so I can get a better understanding of why I don't like them. And when people bring up this point, like let's say for example, they're like, oh, but in this scene, Rhysand did this. Don't you love when Rhysand and Farah do this? La la la. I can open up the book and be like, actually, as I remember, because I read all the books, on page 129. This is the lawyer in me, just because I love to debate and I love to be prepared when debating. But that's one of the reasons why I want to read this. But I'm still going to give him a chance just because I know I personally like Nesta. And I know she becomes a bigger player as the series progresses. So much that I think she got her own book. So I will give it a chance. Trust me. I will still give it a chance. But so far, I'm coming in to fight. Okay. We're done with that. That's my little spiel about Sarah J. Maas. Okay. Number 5, Truly Devious. I literally spent like 5 minutes talking about Sarah J. Maas. Sarah J. Maas, you're living in my mind rent-free. Literally, you're living in my mind rent-free. I'm gonna start charging you rent. Okay. Number 5, Truly Devious. Y'all already know. I just want to read Truly Devious. Truly Devious is my comfort book. I just want to read it just for picking me up. I feel like that's gonna help me so much during lawyer. Wow, I love that. During law school, it's gonna help me. And I want to read The Raven Cycle just because I think that I need it. Like comfort book, ultimate, The Raven Cycle. Yes. Even though I've read this series, like I think two times, I still find stuff, and I pick it up randomly and I just read a chapter here and there just because they hit. I feel like I still find stuff that totally surprises me and stuff that I can load, like I see in different ways, characters I see in different ways, and I love that. The Poppy War, obviously, another one. And Ember in the Ashes, I promise. I'm finally going to get to Ember in the Ashes. I will. And Twilight, I'm buddy reading it with my friend. That's why. I will leave a link in the description to donate to the Quillette tribe. Please do so if you're going to buy the book. She's exploiting them. Donate to them. And finally, Game of Thrones. Like I said in my previous video, I want to get to Game of Thrones. I want to. 10 series. Will I get them done? Who knows? Follow me on Goodreads. Follow me on Twitter. I will update you guys then. So yes, I kind of sped in the end just because I spent so much time talking in the first like 5, and the last ones were just like, maybe I should have talked about them differently. Let me know what series you guys really need to finish, like which series you guys need to finish, which series you guys need to get done, which series everyone tells you need to finish, because people have told me to finish a lot of these series anyway, or start a lot of these series. And reread. A lot of people are doing rereads this month. I think it's because school's about to start, so everyone's trying to read their favorite books again. That's it for me. Go read your favorite book for me and stay safe. Is that what it is? No. Stay safe and go read your favorite book for me. Bye. So I want to read The Poppy War just for a reread just before the new one comes out. I want to read An Ember in the Ashes just because everyone tells me to read them. I want to read Twilight. I already said it. And then Game of Thrones just because I also want to do a rewatch of the series soon, and I want to do kind of a compare and contrast to the series and the books. So yeah, so I'm excited. That's a little recap. So CC, PGO, I know that's what I say, Illuminae, Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, Truly Devious, The Raven Cycle, The Poppy War, Ember in the Ashes, Twilight, and Game of Thrones.